All right, so my favorite BFS soft plastic just got a little baby brother, and they all fit right here in the palm of my hand. We're going to show you a couple different ways to rig it up. We have a bladed slayer. It looks great on a micro little underspin there. You can go, just straight ball head jig if that's what you want as well. And if you really want to go all out, you can even go crazy with a hair jig and you don't even need a vise. That's right. We're going to show you how to make all these today. Introducing the 1.7-inch sleigh bait. Hey, bait chuckers, what's going on out there? That's right, we have a little big episode today. It is new mold day, and Jason over at Epic Bait Molds, well, he has done it again. Introducing the 1.7-inch sleigh bait. That's right. I mean, the detail in this mold is absolutely incredible. I mean, it's really like he's just flexing at this point. I mean, the tooling, the precision, I don't even know how small of a bit you need to do this, but I mean, it is absolutely incredible, the machine work and the detail on such a tiny little bait. Look at that right there. Is that not just the cutest little Micro BFS swim bait that you ever did see? I mean, Micro BFS. I mean, we are talking crappie, bluegill, even bass. That's right. I'm going to show you how to rig this up to nail some bass as well. 1.7 inch. I fell in love with the 2-inch sleigh bait. I did a video on that a while back. I will go ahead and link that in the upper right hand corner of the screen. But now we have an even smaller little baby brother. So more of a shorter episode today because we're not doing really a big color build because we got tiny little baits, but we are going to show you some real cool ways to rig these up if you are a BFS fisherman, or even if you just want to throw it on a spinning rod. I mean, that obviously works as well. We have some remelt here. I actually discovered a really cool color by mixing up together both the Lone Star and Element 115. This makes a pretty awesome color. I had some leftover chameleon, and so I went ahead and made some baits already, but we're going to shoot them in some nice dark black and blue to go along with the some of the jig colors that I have here. So we're going to shoot these. We're going to show you the mold, and then we're going to show you how to rig them up. I'm apologizing in advance because this is a little bit of a shorter episode, but for good reason, because we're about to tear everything up and get electrical run here in the shop. That's right, the whole shop's getting wired up, which means the shooting star over here is going to get set up here pretty soon. We're going to have power to the wood shop, and we're going to be making wooden baits and all kinds of fun stuff here on the channel. But that's for a different day. Today, let's focus on the 1.7 inch. Look at this, I got to get so close. The 1.7 inch sleigh bait. Oh gosh, that's a tiny little bait. Look at that thing. So freaking cool. All right, so taking a closer look at the mold, you can see it is an 8-cavity mold. The beautiful tooling, sorry for all my fingerprints here and this super gloss reflection, but beautiful tooling and polishing by Jason and his whole team over there at Epic Bait Molds. The 1.7-inch sleigh bait comes in 8 cavities labeled back and belly because this is a top port injection mold, meaning there's an individual sprue for each one of the baits. So this is going to allow us to easily pour laminates. And again, look at the detail on those baits. I mean, these have got to be using a incredibly small bit on the tooling machine. Just looking incredibly fancy, incredibly small detail. Again, 1.7 inches. We're talking tiny micro bait here. So we're going to get our colors whipped up and get this mold shot. It should be pretty quick. Again, today you can see we're going to be using leftover remelt. It's not really remelt, but this is leftover from when I did the colors for the Moondust launch, the sample baits. So this was a little bit of Element 115 mixed with a little bit of Lone Star. They're both very similar to Borealis. One shifts more purple, one shifts more blue. So we blended those together, and they make for an awesome awesome, cool color. Now we're going to try this injection first as is. We may need to add a little bit more black because the baits are incredibly tiny. So we'll see. We'll inject it first, and then we'll definitely get another round of injection with some darker black if needed. One thing is, you know, I've already injected this with the chameleon, as I mentioned, and this much plastic right here, this is about a half cup all chopped up. I mean, this is going to get us a ton of shots in this mold because, again, these baits do not take up a lot of plastic at all. So the way I prep this mold, it really only takes 2 clamps. You're not going to need much more than that, and of course you're going to want the tops available here. So I like to align mine belly to the left, back to the right, but in this instance here we're going to turn it this way because we will be using the SDG multi-block. I'll put a link to that down below in the description. That multi-block is designed by N2. You can see that here, and the beauty of the N2 system here by Adam is that it allows us to take our injection and do it this way individually. So even though we have 8 ports, we're going to be able to go down the line one by one and inject this without blocking the ports behind us. Now, we don't really have a lot to worry about in terms of drawdown because, again, I think the sprue holds more plastic than the actual bait does itself, but still, nevertheless, awesome to be able to have this tool by Adam and N2. Get yourself a multi-block by Adam SDG. Again, links down below in the description. All right, here we go. We got our plastisol all heated, warmed up, ready to go. Again, this is that mix of Element 115 and Lone Star. Pretty translucent on the knife, but we got some awesome blue, smoky blue to purple. And we'll set this off to the side here, okay? I got the camera zoomed in close so we can focus on the mold because that's how small it is. Remember, boys and girls, don't forget to glove up. All right, we'll start on this end. And it doesn't take much. A little squeeze on each sprue there. We're just going to go right down the line. The mold is a little bit cold, so it's hardening up as we go down the line. Again, that just shows off the importance of why we use the SDG multi-block when we're doing laminate, so we don't cover up those ports. All right, a little top off, not that it's even necessary, but there we go. Sweet. Look at that. Awesome stuff. We're going to let this cool down, and then we'll meet you over on the demolding mat. All right. Here we go. We have the 1.7-inch sleigh bait all set, ready to go. All right, let's do our first demold together here. I mean, I've obviously shot this before, but we're demolding this for the first time together. And look at that. Woo! Oh, wow. All right, you know what? I don't know if I want to add anything to that. Look how awesome that... Oh, my goodness. All right, what I'm really taken back with here is how the body is thick enough to where it shows off that thick blue, but then it fades into that translucent black smoke color in the tail. I mean, take a look at that. That's just a solid color, and that is the beauty of the moon dust in action right there. Oh, yeah, and you tilt it. You get that purple. You can see it there on the sprues. But look at that. I mean, the detail in that mold is absolutely incredible. There's even room for an eye socket if you wanted. Like I said, Jason is just he's just flexing at this point. Look at that. Look at that. You got the fin in there, all the grooves of the body. I mean, it's so fine. I'm trying to get my camera up close, and I can't even, like the focus range. That's how tiny these grooves are. I need a macro lens to get this to focus. Would you look at that? Goodness gracious. I think you've outdone yourself on this one, Jason. Whew. Let's get one of these off of here. Look at that. Beautiful, smoky color. With all that moon dust reacting in there. This is going to look awesome on the back of a little hair jig. I mean, just take a look at those two together. That's going to be an awesome, awesome pairing. We'll get to this jig in a minute. That's a store-bought jig by 6 cents. We're going to cover rigging. All right, just hold your horses here. I want to try and do a laminate after this, but that color is going to match up nicely. That sizing is going to be absolutely perfect. You can see that there. I hope I'm not blurring things. I'm blocking the light. What a horrible YouTuber. Take a look, okay? That is going to be sweet. I like the color. I like that it's smoky. This is going to slay them. It's going to destroy the bluegill out here and the bass. I mean, I think all the fish are really going to go after these little things. Oh, that's good stuff. All right, I definitely want to get a laminate going. I want to use this blue on the back, and then I think I have some Ripley over there, some pink, and maybe we'll use that in the belly. Blue back, pink belly. What do you think? Let's give it a shot. Okay, we've got our colors all warmed up here. We're going to glove up. Now the mold is a little bit warm, but this multi-block is cool, all right? We're kind of in a rush today. Again, I told you the electricians are coming, so hopefully we can get as many as possible. You can see there's only like a half a cup of plastic in the Pyrex cups here, but we don't even need that much. These baits don't hardly take anything at all, so we're just going to try and go super quick. Hopefully my hand is not blocking the way. I think it's coming out. Yeah, I can see behind me. It's coming out. And you can see here again the importance of why the perpendicular block is so important with the SDG multi-block, because as we did all those laminates, we don't cover up those ports. Oh, that was a very quick injection. My goodness, tiny mold, so it's going to go quick. But again, right, we're coming perpendicular here with the multi-block, right, as opposed to if we had to normally shoot it like that with a standard block. I mean, it would just be a nightmare to shoot. So we're going to let those cool, and then again, we'll meet you back over at the demold mat. I think these are going to look really, really good. If the purge pile is any indicator, we're going to have that nice blue on the back there, and then that beautiful pink on the belly. That's going to make for a nice little bait fish. All right, we've got our beautiful demold mat cleared off, ready to rock and roll. 1.7-inch sleigh bait with that laminate here of the combination, right? It was a combination of Lone Star Element 115 on the top, and then we had the Ripley, I believe, on the bottom. So let's open this up together. Can we get these to come off on one toe? Oh, yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Look at that. We just took that bait fish to the next level. Oh, Lord have mercy. Can you see what's happening here with the blending? I mean, you can see it, especially in the sprue. But take a look. There's a very distinct lateral line. I mean, that laminate took all the way through, and we got that contrast. Look at the green down there from the Ripley. Oh, my goodness. Goodness gracious, that is so awesome. I mean, that's just going to make for an amazing BFS little micro bait right there. The crappie are going to go absolutely insane for this thing. All right, let's get a couple off here. Again, I just think it's incredible that these baits fit in the tiny little palm of the hand. Very clear, very distinct laminate. We got that Ripley in the belly and that combo 115 Lone Star in the back. These tiny little baits laminate like a dream. Oh, absolutely incredible. That's going to look even better on those jigs when we get them all rigged up. All right, well, the smallest eye I had was a 5mm eye, actually, so it's a little big, but you know what? I mean, taking a look at it, the oversized eyeball, I mean, it kind of has a pretty cool look to it. I mean, I'd fish that, 100%. That's a cool little looking bait fish, little baby sardine, right there. Tasty little morsel. That is so awesome. Super, super cool. All right, let's get some close up of these baits, and then we'll talk about how to rig them up. All right, bait chuckers, and there you go, the 1.7-inch sleigh bait by Epic Bait Molds. We got these all shot up. They look fantastic. We're gonna let these cure for a little bit. The electricians are waiting for me here, right outside the shop door off camera, and we got to start tearing this down because we are going to get the shop all flushed out with electrical. Super excited about that. So we're going to cut the shop portion of the video here, and then we're going to meet you back at the garage in kind of the tackle shop, and then we'll discuss some different riggings on how to set up the 1.7-inch sleigh bait for success. All right, bait chuckers, with the magic of editing, we are back here in the home tackle shop. I know the lighting sucks. It's really late. We spent a long time down at the shop, but we got half of the wall, one whole side of the wall and the back of the shop all set up with the roughed out with the circuit boxes and all the conduit runs. So super exciting to see the shop coming together. We'll have full electricity down there real soon. But we got our 2 packs of baits here ready to go. We have our solid blue. This is that combo again of the Element 115 and the Lone Star. And then we got our laminate here with that blue combo on the top along with that Ripley on the bottom. So let's not waste any time. Let's head on over to the workbench. We'll get you nice up close and personal, and we'll show you a couple different Micro BFS ways to rig up the 1.7-inch sleigh bait. I think you're gonna like this. All right, so when we get you all close up in here, you can see we have a variety of different ways that we can rig up the 1.7-inch sleigh bait. So right out of the gate, you can use just some nice little tiny 16th ounce, 1/8 ounce ball head jigs. That's what these are here. I don't know the size of the hook. These are actually some little micro jigs that, you know, I can't remember, either Adam or Joe from Bait and Tackle made me. They're pretty sparkly, so they looks like they probably would have come from Adam. But these tiny little ball head jigs is a perfect way for fishing for crappie, bluegill. Great way to rig up the 1.7-inch sleigh bait. Now we can start to move into some of the more custom style baits like underspins here. These are some micro underspins that Joe from Bait and Tackle makes. I just happen to have a couple of these micro underspins here. You might have some micro underspins that either you've made or maybe a friend of yours, another bait maker, has made. But if you can't get some custom ones made, have no fear. There's actually a great store-bought version, and this is the 6th Sense Pico underspin with the Colorado blade. So it is a underspin here. You can see a nice small hook. You can see the Pico's underspin has a nice Colorado blade that dangles from the tiny little clasp there, free rotating. That's going to spin in the water, and it's not going to interfere with the belly of the sleigh bait there. That hook is kind of almost perfectly spaced. There are larger hook sizes. You can go a little bit further back in the tail, but again, that Pico's underspin, I believe this is a 16th ounce, maybe potentially even an 1/8 ounce jig head there. You can even get these in a larger size. We've shown these on the 2-inch sleigh bait as well. But there is a great store-bought option, and of course, I will have links to all of these down below in the description. So any of the store-bought jig heads, always check down below in the description, and I will have my Tackle Warehouse or Barlow's affiliate links to all the stuff you need in order to rig up and make these baits. But yeah, check that out. Oh yeah, perfect fit there with that underspin. Looks absolutely fantastic. Sticking with our blades for a moment, obviously the 1.7-inch sleigh bait looks awesome on the back of a bladed slayer. This is an 1/8 ounce bladed slayer with an extra small blade. This particular jig head was made by Adam. I have not poured my micro bladed slayer. This will use the Bladed Slayer 2 mold, I believe. So we'll be getting into that here shortly on the channel. But yeah, the 1/8 ounce bladed slayer fits the 1.7-inch sleigh bait perfectly. So that's a great trailer there for the bare naked bladed slayer. Look at that combo right there. That is definitely going to get bit. Now these are really cool here. If we're going to move over into the hair jig, this is another 6th Sense product from their crappie lineup and bluegill lineup. These are actually called the pluck hair jigs. They also have some flock hair jigs. Again, I'll link all of that down below in the description. Those have a little bit more hair on them, but you can see these cool little feathers, and they come with larger hooks and smaller hooks. And so we put this white feather, blue feather here, paired that up nicely with our laminated 1.7-inch sleigh bait there. So we kind of got that pink on the belly and then that blue on the top to match with that feather. That's going to be awesome as it's kind of floating and jigging through the water. So you can give it just a little bit of flair. The feathers are nice because, you know, it's really kind of too small almost to tie a full swim jig around it. So you can use that feather. Again, we're throwing Micro BFS here, okay? Super, super small. So some crappie and even some smaller bass are just absolutely going to destroy this. So hopefully here you can see the two different size of hooks. We have a 16th ounce jig head here on the top and an 1/8 ounce jig head here on the bottom. In fact, that looks big. That might even be a 3/16. But you can see a noticeable size difference in the hooks between the two, even though the jig heads are kind of aligned up here at the same spacing. So this hook kind of comes out further towards the back of the fin on the sleigh bait, and this one kind of comes out more towards the front of the fin here on the sleigh bait. So another example of where you can use two different jig heads, you know, meaning the same jig head but different size hooks, a larger and a smaller size hook there. So again, the pluck hair jigs is another great way for you to rig up these 1.7-inch sleigh baits. All right, everybody. Well, I think that is a good spot to wrap and cap this video. Lots of things going on. I really want to stop and take a second to say thank you to all of you for not only staying through this long in the video, but also for subscribing to the channel. We have surged past 9,000. We crossed over 9,200. And like I mentioned in my last video, we are this close, less than 800 subs away from the big 10,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed to the channel already, go ahead, smack that subscribe button down below. Join the Squid Squadron. Come along, it's going to be a fun ride this year. We got lots of content planned. We're getting the Shooting Star hooked up. Oh, I can't wait to run some batch baits, and you know what that means. Drops coming to the store. All kinds of fun stuff happening this year. So get ready. We got another awesome mold coming for you next week. Another new release from Epic Bait Molds. I'll give you a little bit of a teaser. It's another size in my absolute favorite bait that they make. You can take a guess what that is, but I'm not going to tell you. Until next time, everybody, you all know who it is. Your friend on this end, Michael, out here around these Delta sloughs, reminding you to keep on chucking. I'll get back with you.